Good afternoon, outliers. How are y'all doing today? Happy Thursday. Today is a get the hell out of the way kind of a day in the market. So we're definitely going to be covering that in just a minute. But I hope you all are having an incredible day. Actually, I wanted to chat with you real quick on a couple things. First, I was looking at some shirts, some ideas for shirts. So I've actually put in an order. I'm waiting. I don't know when it'll be. It'll probably be a week or two. And then you're going to start seeing me wearing these shirts on our live stream, especially since you guys confirmed to me that wearing a suit is not necessary. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to wear some logo swag, right? But there was a consideration here that I hadn't thought of, and that's actually that a pretty large portion of our customer base is not US based, and I didn't realize that at the time. So I appreciated you guys all letting us know about that. Of course, this is just one design. We're going to have many of them. I told Mark and Mahesh that this is my side quest that I'm on right now, pursuing this little side quest that I'm going to be doing. Another thing that I came up with was some stickers to go on my vehicles. And I'll probably be showing you that later on as well. But you know, we want to ship you guys out these kind of t-shirts and things, and we don't want to make any money on it. Our job is not to make money on t-shirts, not whatsoever. But we would love it if you you know, wore some outlier swag, and that's why we're trying to come up with something cool. So I'll be wearing those in the near future once I get those in. Good afternoon, Peter. Now I know Peter is not a U.S. Well, I don't know if you're a U.S. citizen or not, but I know you don't live in the U.S. for now. So I guess a T-shirt like that wouldn't interest you. I get that. I did order it in like this. So these are the golf shirts I like to wear, right? There's lots of different brands, but it's that nice thin, like Under Armour-esque material. Oh, I love this stuff. So yeah, I ordered the shirts in that. Michael's here, and well, Michael DE is that. What country is that? Is that Germany? Is that Denmark? I don't know. David, good afternoon, my friend. Good to see you. Yorn, hey bud. Yorn, you just texted me on Discord. I haven't read that yet. Jean-Louis, good to see you. Goran, hey bud. Goran says, just read your message. Oh, you okay? You just read the message. Gotcha. All good. Now I know Sebastian is German, so I know he doesn't like the USA shirt. From Liverpool, but have lived in LA. Dude, Peter, when's the last time you were in LA? I used to go to LA every year on business, and I loved LA, right? I loved the California scene, right? Especially coming from Texas, where it's flat and boring and hot and nothing special. And then you go to LA, and it's right on the ocean. The weather's amazing, so much cool stuff there. But man, I tell you what, ever since COVID, it is like, bull. It is awful. Like I avoid LA at this. I avoid all of California at this point. It has really gone downhill. Oh, Germany. Okay, gotcha. Hey, you and Sebastian could be friends, right? Sebastian, where'd you live? I didn't know you lived over here. 98 to 01. That's probably the good old years, right? You had Arnold Schwarzenegger driving around in the Hummers on Manhattan Beach. One of my very favorite places is Venice Beach right there. Oh man, I used to love that. The last time I went to Venice Beach, though, I think it was in 2022, and I flew in, got the Uber, went over to Venice Beach, doing my thing over there. And I'm walking around. I've got, you know, my nice suit on. I've got a nice leather duffel bag, and I felt like a target everywhere I looked. Homeless people, dirty encampments, and I can't imagine how much worse it is now. And I was like, whoa, I feel like I got a target on my back walking around here like this. So I'm done with that. Canada at the moment. Ah, very cool. He lived in California, Ohio, and New York. Wow. This is so cool. I love hearing y'all's stories. This is awesome. I was born and bred in Texas, went to school in Arkansas, and came back to Texas. So I haven't ventured out all that much. But I tell you what, I saw this news story. Actually, I don't know if I shared my audio. Let me turn that back on. There we go. Okay. I saw this news story. This person talking about the pullback in chip stocks, and I definitely thought on a day like today, it was worth discussing.
And says, despite geopolitical risks, focus on growth. All right, well, let's start off with the geopolitical risks if we can, CJ. What do you make of it?
Let me rewind it, because the very beginning,
Ken Fitzgerald, Senior Managing Director, joins us now. He has a buy rating on ASML, price target of $1,320, and says, despite geopolitical risks, focus on growth.
All right, so this person, I don't know anything about him, but he's got a buy signal on ASML with a price target of 1320. Anytime someone gives price targets, I don't get that, right? in my opinion, I don't think you should give a price target. I think it should be open-ended, right? Let that thing run as fast and far and out of control as you want to. But if it doesn't work out, it's okay. Just get out, right? You don't have to have a price target. Plus, setting a price target, let's say a stock's at $100 right now, and I have a price target of 120, and it's, you know, floundering around $100, then it goes down to like 90. Do I then say, oh, you know what? My price target's 120, so I'm just going to hold it until it hits 120? Or do you say, oh, I'm going to throw in the towel? Or do you then mark it down to like 115? I don't know. Price targets to me seem asinine.
All right. Well, let's start off with the geopolitical risk, if we can, CJ. What do you make of it? Both, you know, the former president's comments about Taiwan, and perhaps more importantly, what may be coming moves from the Biden administration to even try and tighten up these restrictions on China getting a hold of high-end chips.
Yeah, good morning. You know, I think, you know, the potential for more restrictions is real, but I would highlight that, you know, we've already limited EUV, you know, unavailable to China, and ASML, you know, currently cannot service 5 different factories in China.
Look at that. ASML at the time of his speech right there down 10%. Nvidia's down 5%, and then TSM down 6.8%.
And so the intent is really to limit China's ability to build leading edge semiconductors. And I think that the efforts the Department of Commerce, the BIS, have put through have done that. But clearly, when you saw that 7-nanometer chip come out of Huawei in China, that led to the red flag. And so, you know, I think there are considerations. It is bipartisan in DC, but I would, you know, suggest that we've already done enough on that front. So I think, you know, the pullback in stocks, particularly ASML, is overdone.
Yeah, well, there it is, down 10.
Up 27% year to date, but down 10% intraday. When did this come out? Yesterday.
10%. I mean, again, in terms of the actual numbers reported by the company, generally positive, correct?
Yeah, you know, I think that there was wide debate whether their bookings would come in at the kind of 4 billion level or upwards of 6 billion as we forecasted, and they came in, you know, right around 5.5. So that was definitely good enough. And I would definitely highlight, you know, when TSMC reports this evening, you know, I think it's going to be a strong report, and it's really going to highlight.
Oh,
you know,
and they just had earnings. I didn't realize that.
That today it's led by AI, and you know we are starting to see kind of a return to seasonal trends in some of the other markets like smartphones, PCs, enterprise servers, and so I don't see any real change statement, you know, to our, you know, the outlook for very strong growth for ASML next year, which, you know, again they reiterated on their call this morning.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm curious though, in the difference in your perspective in terms of the effectiveness on the bans that have been in place versus what may be some frustration on the part of the.
I have that same highlighter. He's holding it around. I have that same highlighter here in orange.
Administration. Where does that play in? Why are you seeing it as successful and perhaps others seeing it as not so successful?
Okay, so we'll stop it here, but I do want to give you guys a little inside baseball here. So having been on TV hundreds and hundreds of times, this just gives me all the flashbacks. So the anchor, I don't know his name. The anchor guy is sitting there asking these questions, these pre-planned questions that the two of them had agreed on ahead of time, just through emails, through the not publicist. The publicist may have had a part of that, but through the producer. Yeah, so the producer gave him the questions, and he came up with the responses ahead of time. And whatever the anchor is not on screen, dude is literally like, or on his phone, he's like, I do not care what this guy says whatsoever. It will make no difference to me in my life. I'm just reading these questions and basically laying up softballs for this guy to sound fancy and sound important. In fact, the first time I was ever on TV, my publicist, she said, Chris, it really doesn't matter what you say. Say whatever you want. You can be right, you can be wrong. It doesn't matter. Just your opinion. And you are completely right. You are completely allowed to be wrong, and nobody's going to remember it anyway, if you're right or if you're wrong. So anyway, there's just a little inside baseball in there. And when you do these type of calls, it's just like a Zoom call. It's like you and I are doing at this very moment. But I'll never forget one time I was on Cheddar TV, and my camera had been working for days, weeks, months, no problem whatsoever. And the moment they cut to me on Cheddar TV, my camera dies, like just outright dies. And I'm like, what the frick? Why? So anyway, just long story to say, I'm not so sure about the sell-off in ASML. In fact, let's go look at ASML. I have not looked at it yet. Good gravy. It's down a lot. All right, so let's take a look at ASML. So from the close, so he must have been talking to him yesterday at this point. It was down 12% at that point, and now it's down again down 14% total. Coming to this order block though, so it might find some support here. But here's the deal, right? It's now at the lowest level it's been since mid-May, right? And anytime you see a gigantic, ugly, awful sell-off like this, that there is no guarantee that this comes back, right? So many people's fortunes have been lost chasing these type of moves, chasing a move where it's like, oh, I look at this deal, right? Yeah, I loved it at $1,078, but I really love it today at 915, and my price target is definitely still $1,300, right? Yeah, I don't know about that. Sebastian says OVTLYR had a buy signal. I know. I was taking a look at that actually. So OVTLYR did have a buy signal on ASML. Now, whenever a move happens like this, clearly it's going to get recalculated all the time. But earnings are definitely something that nobody can predict, right? In fact, this was on the earnings that it was down that much. Mahesh has even come out and said, earnings are a crapshoot. We don't actually know if it's going to continue up or continue down. So that's why I usually don't trade earnings. When I traded BAC earnings this week, that was not intentional. It worked out great. We were smiled down by the market gods, but that was not intentional. But OVTLYR still shows a 159% historical return on ASML. So even with sell-offs like this, it's still outperforming most stocks out there. That's for dang sure. Now, let's take a look at today's market analysis. All right. I do have a couple updates to the PowerPoint. Max had been asking for a new version of the PowerPoint. So I have made some changes in here. I'm not to the point yet where I'm ready to release it to the public. There will be some changes to come. I was actually emailing with Mark and Mahesh this morning about the market breadth. Hey, I found this really cool new what's it called? Chrome extension. And I was like, okay, how can I see all of these at once so I can quickly go through this, right? Brian had the great idea of being able to see more than one market breadth inside of the platform. And so I passed that information on to Mahesh. I said, Brian's got a great idea. We need to be able to do this. So we're throwing around some ideas. I don't know where it's going to land, but one thing that I found this morning, which I thought was cool, was this extension where I could do something like this. And then it actually shows, more than one screen or more than one tab at once, all in one click, and then I can just hit undo and it goes back. So that was pretty cool. I might be using that in the future. But either way, welcome to the OVTLYR Trading Room. This is smart trading made simple. Save time, make money, start winning with less risk. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Christopher Uhl. I've twice been awarded top 100 people in finance. I've been successfully trading since 2009. I'm a partner with OVTLYR, and this is my style of trading using OVTLYR. Now, we're going to be using the golden ticket trading strategy, and we have a very big movement today in the market, and this is one reason why we have this, right? To know exactly what to do no matter what's going on. Now, this is the 8 steps to turn profit hacking into pure gold. So one of the things that I added was this slide here. I'm going to call this the master key because this is the data point that I found where I was like, whoa, this is game changing. So what do I mean by the master key? Now, the master key is the SPY signal. So the SPY signal meaning if we go into here and we go to SPY, if you don't know, I'm sure you do, that's the S&P 500 ETF, right? What is the SPY's buy or sell signal today? That's what I'm looking for. We all know it's buy signal, but give it a second. The buy signal that came on here. That's what we're looking for, right? So anytime it's in a sell signal, I'm not trading. I'm not going to be trading. This is new. This is a lot less trading, a lot less frequent, but showing incredibly high win rates when these combinations are put together. So that is the first part, right? The SPY signal. Next is the market breadth. So market breadth. All stocks inside of OVTLYR are either on the bull list or on the bear list at all times. There is no in between. There is no maybe list. It's either a buy signal or a sell signal. This green line here represents the number of stocks on the bull list. And then you can add whatever moving average you like, but I like the 10 exponential moving average to go along with that. So what we see here is the percent of stocks on the bull list, the percent of stocks with the buy signal rising and rising, and then the moving average, trailing behind that. What I have found, and it's very easy to see, is that this is super cyclical, right? As it moves up, then it quickly moves down, moves up, moves down, moves up, moves down, moves up, moves down. So we want to be on the right side of that, okay? So we're combining the buy signal with the market breadth. And then the same thing on the individual stocks sector breadth. So imagine this for financials. Let's just throw financials on there. Right? What is the market breadth in the financials? And if this is moving positively, then that's the third part, which it is right here. That's the third part here of the master key. You combine those three together, you've got the master key: the SPY signal, the market breadth, and the sector breadth. Now, this is definitely going to reduce the number of trades that I take. There will be days and weeks where I don't trade anything, and that's okay. Remember, trading doesn't mean being active. Trading means taking opportunities when they're given to you with the highest potential for reward that you've got. What I'd like to do is continue these daily trading rooms, because of course we're making product enhancements. There's always something to talk about in the news, and we can take a look at this every single day. There's no reason that we have to trade, but I would say, this is my style of trading. This is what I always like to preface, and Outlier delivers you new opportunities every day, right? So it may be better for you, but for the way that I trade, this master key is going to override everything. So let the market tell you which direction it's going, right? It always starts with the market. So we're looking at the 10 over 20, price over the 50. Now, this is a note down here. I don't know if you ever pay attention, but this note says, if it closes under the 20, if the SPY closes under the 20, wait to put on new trades until it closes over the 10 EMA again. That is the safety cord, right? That is the rip line. That is the fire extinguisher. That is the I am getting out of the way until things settle down. That's what we need to do right now. Like right now. So let's go to the SPY. And we can look here. And, we've got the 10 over the 20, price over the 50. However, we've got major damage done to this trend right here. Major damage. The last time we broke the 20 EMA was back in May. Now, I will be the first to tell you, it may bounce right back over it and keep on going tomorrow. It may do that. It very well may. Or it may go under it and then just like slam down another, how far much down was that? Slam down another 3.5%. Or let's zoom way out. Go back to COVID. Or it may do something like this. Right? This doesn't look too dissimilar to what's happening right now. But you know what? If you had got out of the way on the first close under the 20 EMA, which it wasn't quite under it there, but it was definitely here. Right? Let's say you get out on the first close under. Yeah, it's down 4.5%. That sucks. But that's a lot better than riding it down all the way down to here. I think it was down 30-something% at one point. Yeah, 35-ish%. And the point I'm trying to make here is that you don't have to follow this down. You don't. I remember specifically, so I've been trading for ages, as you know, and my dad and his sister were talking one day, and she was telling him how she sold right around here, like almost the time it hit the bottom. And I remember him telling me, oh yeah, she finally got out of her stocks. And I'm like, oh, well, I guess the market's about to turn at that point. That's exactly what it did, right? Whenever the masses see what's going on, it's too late. But you are not like them. You're following the market in a different manner. You are way more on top of it, and you understand the risk that is present every single day in the market. And that's why when an opportunity like this flashes at you, you must take it. I mean, you can do what you want, but I sure will take it. So this tells me get out of everything. So let's do it. Let's start at the top, AEM. Right, we got in AEM. We rolled it once. It closed above the second ATR yesterday, or 2 days ago, And now today it's closing under its half ATR point. So I would have got out anyway. So we do need to get out of AEM. Now, if you're looking at AEM, it might be showing you a loss on the position you rolled. But keep in mind, you've already rolled up. So you've already taken in a credit. So AEM, I'm going to look to close. This is the August 16th, 70 calls. All right, so let's see. See if we can get filled at 570. AEM, August 16th, 70 calls. Putting the order in at 570. Okay, I'm out filled at 570 on AEM. 570. All right, so that gives me a return of about 10.5%. Let me find this one here. Let me find it. AEM, right there. Reply. So this is the 18th AEM. 70 calls for 570. It's 10.5%. Where is that number at? Return on capital, 10.5%. And it grew the portfolio by 1.76%. And this was close under half ATR from roll and market sell off. Cool. So I really don't need to look at any opening trades today because we're overriding that, right? We're overriding this right here. It may come back, but I'm totally good with just taking these off. And if it bounces back up, that's fine. NEM. Okay, so again, this is when we rolled up, and now it's closing below the half ATR. And what's cool about this is even though we are showing a loss on the one that we're showing right now, we actually have more of a profit in total than we would had we not done anything, right? The option that we would have had, in fact, let me stop saying would have had and just talk about what we have. This is NEM, not AEM. So this is the 45s. And so let's talk about that. We rolled the 42.5s up to the 45s. That's right. By doing so, we actually were very defensive on that trade. When we rolled it up, we took in a credit of 204. And now we're getting out of the trade at August 16th, 45s. Okay, yeah, I'm putting an order in at 355 right now. I think that's going to get picked up. Okay, filled at 355. A lot of people are doing a lot of work right now, just like we are. So we're out of NEM at 355. So it gives us a 5% gain on the trade. Here it is. NEM. 45s. 355, yeah, right? Yeah, 355. This shows me a 5.0% cumulative win. Portfolio impact is 77 basis points. And then close under half ATR from the roll, and the market sell off again. Yep, that's right. Okay, so we're out of NEM. We're out of AEM. Now we go to BAC. BAC. Huge move that we were able to take advantage of. And we rolled up there. Now, again, this is below the half ATR, and we've got a market sell-off, which it's coming back now. But I'm still going to be defensive here. I'm still going to go ahead. I'm still going to follow my plan. So we've got this. Let's go ahead and price that out. BAC. Currently in the 42s. And looking to close BAC 42s. Let's see if I can get 180. That's working. Well, that works for a minute. Let me come over here. Closed BAC. Filled at 180. Just right then. That was the 42s. For 180. Which was a nice win. 31.78% win. A 4.72% portfolio impact. I like that. I like that a lot. Finally. Good one there. All right, out of BAC. Let's go to the next one. KBH. Again, KBH was a huge move yesterday. It actually closed under the half ATR from the point that we looked at it to the point where it closed. It actually closed under that point, and I didn't see it yesterday. So here, I should have got out. I'll be honest with you. Had I seen that, I would have wanted to get out yesterday. We do need to get out now, and unfortunately, it was about 90 cents lower. Boo, than yesterday. KBH. This is the August 16th. 75 calls. Let me start working at, I don't think we'll get filled at 635. So I'm going to try at 625. I think it's more likely. Yeah, filled right away at 625. All right, so 625 to close KBH. Where is the Discord? There it is. All right, close KBH. 75s for 625. And how do we do on that one? 625. Oh man, that was 940 earlier today. But it still works. Still return on capital, 40%. I love it. 40.45%. That was a 3.68% portfolio gain for me. Man, I'll take it. It was so much better earlier today, unfortunately. That's how trading goes. All right, done with KBH. We're down to AFL. AFL actually has been really good. It looked like I was going to roll up AFL earlier today, but that clearly isn't going to happen. AFL. Let's close that guy. All right. This is the AFL August 16th. 87.5. Still, I don't think we'll get 765. So let me try 760. Try 760 here. not fill at 760. Let me bump it 755. Okay, that's in. Fill to close at 755. NEM, BAC, KBH. Where is AFL? There it is. AFL 87.5 calls. 755. Yeah. That was 11.79% win. And a 1.75% portfolio impact. Okay. Actually, that one was just market sell-off. It wasn't under the half ATR. Cool. And then we're down to Zillow, the one we put on yesterday. And this has definitely come back some. I'm not holding it for a while, though. Go ahead and get out. But that was pretty great, right? How many was that? That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 winners. 5 out of 6. And then we had a couple winners before that, too. Let me see. Yeah, CLS. That was right. That was the one right before that. So yeah, nice little win streak. CLS. I want to look at that one real quick. Sebastian pointed that one out yesterday. Oh my gosh. That one's so ugly. Glad I got out of it on that day, following the rules. All right, Zillow. Last one of the day. This takes me to flat once I get out of this. Zillow, August 16th. It's 47.5. 560 mid price. I'll try 555. I don't think we'll get 560. Oh, it's filled at 560. I'll take it. Okay. So I am now flat. Flat as a pancake. Closed Z. What was that? 47.5. 4, 5. No, it's 560. Yeah, that was my fill price. 560, which was a loss. Say 20.63% loss on the option, which did 2.7% of damage. So, all right, back to flat. So you don't have to do this, right? I want to preface it by saying, this is my way to be defensive, ultra defensive. When the market starts selling off like this, it's like, get out of the way. Don't let it fight. Don't fight the tape, as they would say. Don't go against it, right? And of course, it can totally turn around. I will be the first one to tell you this. It can totally turn around and start going back up tomorrow. Abso-freaking-lutely it can. And if it does, we'll follow the rules, okay? If it doesn't, we'll still follow the rules. The point is having a plan. Having a plan. I also got to preface this and say, a plan only matters so much as if you follow it, right? Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face, right? Zillow got punched in the face today, right? If we were holding CLS after it had its big sell-off, CLS had been punched in the face today. There's a lot of people who were looking at this market saying, oh, it's going to bounce, right? It's totally going to bounce. But there's no guarantee of that. Not at all. Not whatsoever. So you've got to be really, really defensive, especially when it's your money, right? You worked hard for this money. You don't want it to go away. You don't want it to, go to a losing trade. So I don't know when we're going to trade again, but we can take a look at market breadth. I mean, this is still really, really high. Whenever we see it high like that and it comes and turns and rolls over, we could see some pretty stark sell-offs. In fact, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, I said, this makes me nervous right here. This long, fast trend makes me nervous. But in the meantime, we still made some money. So I am all about that. I am all about that life. Yes, sir. All right. So that's going to wrap it for today's OVTLYR Trading Room. Sebastian says on AFL, I had to roll an order up to get rolled at 90, had a portfolio gain. Way to go, dude. Way to go. And that's the real key important thing too, right? It's all fun and games when we talk about what does the option price do, right? I've had options that have 3x, right? 300% gains on those, right? But if they are like a smidge of your portfolio, who cares? But I've also had options that, I mean, got totally wrecked, right? Down 50 something percent. I've even showed it in the Discord. I've got some that are down 50 something percent. And it's like 2.5% of my account. That's what matters, right? And that's all through position sizing. If you don't position size correctly, you can't make the winners work when they come your way. And you can't make the losers not be so impactful when they come your way too, because they definitely can happen. So thank you all so much for coming to the OVTLYR Trading Room. I'll be right back here tomorrow. I hope to see you then. Talk soon.